Hi, folks. I'm Father Joe Grimaldi. You can call me Joe, and I'd like to welcome you to my podcast. But now, here's our host and friend, Ken Calvert.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Father Joe Grimaldi podcast. I am your host, Ken Calvert, alongside... Oh, did I say I was the host?
God help us.
The Father Joe podcast, proudly supported by Hoot McIntyre Star Lincoln, located at 12 Mile Road and Telegraph in Southfield. We would like you to visit their website at starlincoln.com. What are you driving?
I think it's called a... let me see. It's a Ken Calvert car, it says.
It's a Lincoln MKC.
KC, yeah.
I'm in love with mine. I don't know about you.
Me too.
I
I really like it.
The 2019 North American International Auto Show is here, and you are going to be blown away by that Lincoln display. The talk of the show is the 2020 Lincoln Aviator. Stop on by. Visit starlincoln.com. I want to start by mentioning the loss of your dear friend, Brother McIntyre, who we lost on Saturday. Mm-hmm. A good friend of yours.
Very.
You were loyal to a fault. For the past couple of weeks, we have been doing the podcast, and you have been going over to see Brother Mac on a regular basis. And you said he was failing, and probably in a much better place, yes?
Yes, he went beautifully. The irony that really is weird in a way and scary, his blood brother, one of his brothers, he's the oldest of 7, Mac is, but one of his brothers died the very same hour that he did.
You're kidding.
No. Out in Montana. Isn't that... I mean, I've never heard that before.
No, I haven't either, and I got the chills.
I know. It's one of these mind-boggling things, but his brother who lived in Billings, Montana, passed away the same day, I would say the same hour, that Mac did.
He wasn't with any religious order, was he, his brother?
No. Okay. He was not. And so I think he had lung cancer, but whereas Mac, unfortunately, the cancer had spread everywhere. Mm-hmm. But he was under very great care with Dr. Cotant, who thought of Mac as an inspiration for him. He had him in school, so... it was great to...
So you're saying his physician was a student of Brother Mac?
Oh, yes.
I did not know that. Wow.
And a friend, because for 9 years, Brother Mac has been treated with experimental drugs for the cancer, and he always reacted positively. He always was great about the results, but lately things were not so great. And... the thing that's also amazing to me, and I'll say this on Saturday, he entered, well, let me put it this way. He came to Brother Rice in 1980. I did too. And from 1980 until a couple of weeks ago, he was working at Brother Rice, then went to the hospital and just died. So he never stopped. He was a very dedicated religious. But again, I don't know if we want to make this a Brother Mac podcast, but we could...
No, but I think I know where I want to go with this.
Good.
Either way, I think Brother Mac, for those of us that attended Brother Rice High School, he was an important figure in all of our lives. And I know that you'll say on occasion the expression a potted plant. And I mean it with total reverence when I think of Brother Mac. Whenever I would go over and visit or talk or do whatever at Brother Rice High School, he would be there. He'd be standing somewhere in the hallway. Mm-hmm. And he was a tall man. And he was, hard to miss, as a matter of fact. But a gracious, wonderful man. And I just wanted to spend a second saying to you my thoughts and prayers to you, because I know you were dear friends. And God willing, he's in a perfect place right now.
Yeah, I think so. He was such a dedicated individual. I mean... And
I commend you for being such a diligent and faithful friend to the very end.
Well, thank you.
So, will that be a difficult mass for you to say or not?
No.
It's a celebration.
It is.
Okay.
When you think of him and his life, it's a celebration.
I wanted to say something because you mentioned something that was very curious to me. I asked you if you would celebrate that, and you were saying, I kind of hope so, because... we have graduated priests from Brother Rice And you were hoping that maybe some of those priests would come back and celebrate with you.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping, and we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Real quickly, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Do you know how many?
I don't know numbers, but for
Okay.
example, I do know there's a Father Bernie, I forget his first name, but he's a very popular priest and a very, how should I put it, involved priest in the Archdiocese of Detroit.
Okay, so
And it
Father
would be-
Bernie is here.
Oh, yeah. Then I believe there's somebody that's a monk, as a Carmelite, if I'm not mistaken. There are a couple. I know that this year there was an ordained priest who was Chaldean, and he was ordained for the Chaldean Catholic Church. There must be a few others, I'm sure, that we're not aware of.
It'll be a celebration of the life of a wonderful human being.
Yeah, because he touched so many lives.
Yeah,
and
he
I
did.
think there'll be a lot of people, if they can make it, they will be there.
Which leads me to this. You and I were just talking about this. I'm struggling with something right now because I realize I'm 67 years of age, okay? But I feel, well, no, body-wise, I feel every bit of 67. But mentally, I feel like I'm a 25, 30-year-old guy, still embracing life, loving everything I do. But all of a sudden I realize I'm sort of in the third quarter of my life, going to funerals of friends my age, starting to think about my own mortality. And it's scary. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about the way I'm feeling about it.
It's not uncommon, Ken. I'm 12 years older than you are, and it's certainly the thought crosses my mind because, well, look at Mac. We were the same age, and he's gone now, huh? And so many younger people have preceded me in death. People that were my confreres in religious life. People that I knew very well. In any case, we have to, I think, all of us have to roll with the punches. In other words, the great survivors are those people who are able to think positively and move on when any type of tragedy hits, when any type of challenge hits. It's a matter of mentally moving forward with life, doing the things you're doing. I'm surprised of what you say because you're such an involved individual, someone who is mentally active in your work. You love what you do. That's obvious. That comes across like you know.
And I don't want it to end.
Well,
I'm afraid. You know what it is? At the end of the day, I'm afraid of death.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are. There's no question. But the thing is, it's easy for me to say you shouldn't be, but that doesn't take away the emotion, huh? I think one of the things, someone as active as you are, someone who's very involved in your work as you are, really has to concentrate on what you're doing and live life to the fullest. The end will come whether we want it or not.
Oh, I know that.
So it's a matter of just being positive, I think, with your life, moving forward with your life, doing things that you want to do. I think, everybody jokes about the bucket list. Well, there's something good about that. You always have something that you can look forward to that you want to do. With you, I think your life has got to be exciting with the type of work that you do, whether it be this podcast or whether you do your own personal podcast or whether you do other types of things with all of this technology that's before you. I think you have so much that would give you this positive attitude to move forward. It's not unnatural to think about the end, but to concentrate and stay on that is not good.
No, I know that's not helpful, and I don't want to deliver any sort of suggestion that my purpose every day is to get up and worry.
Yeah.
I don't. But there are times I lay awake at night and I realize the aches and the pains, and I look back and I reflect, and then I start to think about, especially just this past week when I did attend a funeral of a very close friend, and he was younger than I was, and I thought, I'm ready. That part doesn't concern me. I just don't want to stop. I want to go on forever. I never, ever, ever want to die.
Well, that's a good attitude.
Okay.
Then keep living it.
All right.
As far as the aches and pains,
Yeah.
there's a great Italian saying, and I'll say it, and you could erase it if you want afterwards.
No, why is it dirty? Is it dirty?
No, oh, no. Dopo la quarantina, un nuovo male ogni mattina, which simply means this. After around the age of 40, every morning there's a new pain. So it's like, so I think it's only natural that you should have aches and pains because you are over 40. And so that happens. But the Italians always have a nice way of expressing it. And
we should go into the sign business. We can make some make some money. You know what I mean? Hey, if you like the podcast, buy our sign. So say that for me one more time. What?
Dopo la quarantina, nuovo male ogni mattina, which simply means after around 40, there's a new pain or new ache every morning.
Do you find? Okay, so I'm normal, right?
Of course you are.
Okay. So in other words, everything that's going on right now, I really, I don't know why all of a sudden this morning I thought you're coming over. I thought, you do this all the time. We kid around sometimes.
Sure.
And when I say kid around, we don't mean kid around. But it seems like you've been doing an awful lot of funerals.
Right.
And it seems like I've been going to an awful lot of funerals. And at the end of the day, I know that I'm ready to go to the other side. I guess the great mystery for me is what's on the other side. And I don't think you can sit here and tell me.
Oh, I can't. No one knows.
Yeah.
Okay, no one has come back to tell
Why
us.
am I afraid of that then?
I don't. Well, I think it's only natural.
Why do I want this utopian belief that my mom and dad and all of these wonderful people will all be reunified?
Well, let me say this. The unknown is always scary.
Yeah.
So even outside of religion, the unknown is always scary. Now, we live our lives the best way we can, a positive attitude, move forward, and so on. Some are sick, and they live to be 98. Others are healthy, and they die at 45. So there's no way of knowing when our time on earth is up. All we have to do is trust that we keep doing the best we can and wait for the Lord to call us. We just celebrated Christmas, and Christmas time is a celebration of when the Lord came the first time. He came and he walked the same earth that you and I walk. But we also celebrate two other comings of Jesus. The next one is when he meets us face to face, and he comes to call us and says, "What have you done with the talents I have given you?" And then the third one is when he comes to judge the living and the dead at the end of the world. So we celebrate those three events in human life, if you want, when Jesus comes to be here on this earth. So we should live in a positive way, doing the right thing as much as we can, muddling along, actually, because we don't know.
I do that really well.
We don't know what's going to happen. As I said before, you have people that are sick all of their lives, and they live to be 98, 97, whatever, 105. Then you have those that are very healthy, exercise, eat the right foods, do the right things, and they die at 45.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
On a basketball court in some sort of a men's league that they just like, wait a minute, that's impossible. He was in the best shape of anybody I know.
Yeah.
So
it happens.
But I guess the reason why I brought it up was the fact that I don't think I'm alone in the end zone with this. Pardon all the metaphors here, but I am in the third quarter. You know what I mean?
Well, in that case, I'm in the fourth quarter.
No, I don't. Well, I'm trusting medicine to take us a long way. I'm really counting on.
But your attitude has a lot to do with it.
I think so.
It's not just the medicine.
And that's where I try and block out the negative thoughts, and I try and go with the positive thoughts.
Well, the way to block it out is keep busy, and you do keep busy. This is why I'm surprised.
I almost keep too busy, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But
because you're doing what you like.
Yes.
And good at.
Well, thank you, and I love doing it, but I suppose there are people out there that just obsess on it and worry about it too much, and that's wrong.
Yeah,
There are people that get up every day going, "Oh God, another day. I'm probably
Will I make it to 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to die today." Well, guess what? Like you said, those are the ones that outlive all of us. So I'm normal to refresh.
I think you are. And the thing is this, that we have to trust in Almighty God. You mentioned a few other things there that I believe in. I believe that in the future we will be reunited with our loved ones, with our friends.
That's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah, and we will know them, this type of thing. I believe, too, that if we live with a positive attitude, when death comes, it's not going to be the end of the world. Huh? With Mac, it wasn't the end of the world. As a matter of fact, it was interesting. The day or two before he died, he told the doctor, Doc, let's not do any more intervention. I'm ready to meet the Maker, and I want to meet him.
Yeah.
And so he was ready for that.
Yeah, I like that, though.
Yeah. So the thing is this, that we shouldn't be overly worried about when that will occur, because it can occur any time, and it has nothing to do with age or sickness sometimes. I think you have to keep that in mind, that people who are very healthy sometimes, they throw up that basketball and then
boom.
It can happen to anyone.
Get up, Bob. Get up.
Sometimes it's not even that. They just kind of sit down in the easy chair, ready to watch the news at 5 o'clock, 5 after 5. They're gone.
That's the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm jealous of that person or if I'm terrified of being that person.
I think it would be a beautiful way to go.
I do too.
It would not be beautiful for the family.
No, I know. And you see, that's the other thing. I factor in all of these things. For some reason lately, I've just been thinking about it too much, and I got to stop thinking about it.
Definitely.
If I'm going to take a lesson away from this podcast for Ken Calvert, the lesson is stop it. Live life. It is what it is. It's going to stop when it stops.
Exactly.
Okay.
Move ahead.
But at the same time, if there's any baggage on board, the baggage is all good. In other words, I love what I'm doing. I'm at peace with myself. I'm a good guy. I have friends like Father Joe Grimaldi. I'm in front of a microphone doing what I love
what you
to
love
do.
to do, yeah.
And I want to keep doing
and good at it.
until I'm over 100 years of age.
Well, you don't have to put that there. I think just keep doing it. It doesn't matter if it's over 100 or over 90 or
so
whatever.
I don't have to set a timeline.
No. Let God do that. You have to let him do some things.
I do. He does a lot of things.
That's right.
He does a lot of things really, really well.
Yeah.
So, all right, well.
Just trust.
I think some people who are listening to this go, that's curious because I'm not worried at all. I'm comfortable. I'm ready to go at any time. And that speaks heavily to faith, right?
It speaks heavily to...
I'm speaking about people who say...
I know what you're saying.
Anytime, I'm more than ready. In fact, I look forward to it. For one, I'm not sure I believe that. Okay? And number two, I really want to meet the person that's so comfortable in their own faith and belief. And I'm sure there are an abundance of those people that they're ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that are just in that attitude, but I don't know if they really speak out loud about that kind of stuff. Those who speak out loud about that kind of stuff are probably a little insecure about it. So this is why they have to keep saying it. But if they truly mean what they say, they are at peace. They keep working. They keep interacting with their families and their friends and keep interacting with their work. And, well, there's no way of knowing when the end is. Some linger on because of illness, okay?
Yeah.
But by the same token, there are others that no indication whatsoever. So let's trust.
Okay. Real quick subset.
Sure.
You just made me think of something.
Good.
There are people that linger on, and then there are those that are caregivers for those that linger on.
Yes.
What do you say to people that may say in their heart on occasion, I wish my mom or dad would just go?
First of all, let me say this. There should be no guilt in thinking that, because it's a burden.
Yeah.
It's charity in the sense that you're doing something good by being a caregiver. But to say it is not imposing on the individual, I don't think that's true. I think it is imposing on the individual. Because once you become a caregiver for an individual that needs a lot of care, there is exhaustion that takes place on that person's life, you know. And of course, when the person dies, there's this guilt feeling. Why am I feeling relieved, you know, that this person died? I love this person. I shouldn't feel relieved. That's incorrect.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong in feeling relieved. You're not feeling joyous. You're not feeling in a celebratory mood. You're just relieved that you don't have to go through this another day. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong in feeling that way. I think it would be wrong to go around boasting and
bloviating about the fact, well, I'll tell you what, nobody else wants to do it in this family, I'll do it.
But, you know, the thing is this, though, very often the opposite is true. There's guilt feelings.
Yes, I remember this so well. Actually, my sister and I almost got combative about it, like who's spending more time doing more with my father. So I'm glad that we attached that part of it to this, because I think there's a lot of people that listen to this that may be going through that right now.
Definitely, yeah.
With parents or with others in their orbit that may need care. Right. And sometimes they get frustrated, and then they feel guilty about being frustrated, and you just said, don't.
Don't feel guilty, right?
It's a burden, and God bless you for doing it.
Now, if there are caregivers, they have to be common sense about getting the help that they need. Mm-hmm. In other words, they need respite care. In other words, people that will take their place on a few days a week so that they can have time to do their ordinary chores. So there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, you need respite care when you're doing that kind of work.
Everybody needs a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exhale just a little bit. Well, thank you. God, I could go on and on and on. And but unfortunately our time is limited. And I guess that's a weird way to end this podcast. Our time is limited. So I think I managed to walk into a beautiful closing there, Father
Let's
Joe.
hope for the best.
All right, let's hope for the best. And here's to long life. Here's to you. Here's to me. Here's that we may never disagree. Be well, my friends. Be well, my friends. We'll see you next time on the Father Joe Podcast. I'm Ken Calvert along with Father Joe.
Looking forward to seeing you. Take care. Bye. This is Father Joe Grimaldi, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Father Joe Podcast.
If you'd like, you can email us. It's frjoepodcast@gmail.com. That's frjoepodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook. Simply search Father Joe Grimaldi. And thanks for listening, everyone.